"Open up, Mr. Walker. Your wife is under arrest." The knock wasn't a knock. It was a threat wrapped in knuckles. It hit our door like it wanted to come through the wood. I stood there in my robe, coffee shaking in my hand, staring at four men on my porch dressed like discount SWAT. Navy shirts, fake badges, clipboards like props in a bad movie. And on the back of every shirt, in bold white letters, HOA Inspector. That's when I saw him. Gage Blackwell, my neighbor, the fake cop king of Oakwood Heights. The man who smiled while filing fines and ruined people over mailbox height. He stood front and center like a dictator in Oakwood cosplay. "Step aside," he said. "Your wife is coming with us." My wife, Sloan Walker, didn't flinch. She stepped beside me, calm, deadly calm. "Do you have a warrant?" The word warrant hit Gage like a slap. One of his cronies snorted. Another looked away in embarrassment. Gage's hand slid to his holster, a real gun in a fake man's grip. "I don't need paperwork to keep this neighborhood safe." Sloan leaned forward just slightly. "Then you're impersonating law enforcement while armed." Silence. A camera clicked somewhere down the street. "Daniel," she said without breaking eye contact with Gage, "call the sheriff. Tell them we have armed imposters on our porch." Gage's smile cracked. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. The most wicked HOA in the county had just picked a fight with the worst woman they could have chosen. By sunrise, Oakwood Heights felt poisoned. Not loud, not violent, just hostile. People who used to wave suddenly pretended they didn't see us. Curtains twitched when Sloan walked by. And Gage Blackwell? He strutted like a man who thought he owned the street. That fake raid at 2 a.m. wasn't about safety. It was about fear. Sloan proved it before breakfast. "Gage Blackwell doesn't exist," she said, tapping her laptop. "No law enforcement record, no security license, nothing. His real name? Gavin Hale. And he wasn't just a bully, he was a professional predator. 3 states, multiple arrests for impersonating officers, a trail of HOA takeovers where families were harassed, fined, and scared into selling their homes cheap. Then Sloan found the money. Shell companies, real estate flips, and a silent partner named Victor Crane, a shark who profited every time Gavin terrorized a neighborhood. That fence we built, it wasn't ugly. It blocked Gavin's line of sight into our yard and into Sloan's classified work. So he panicked. And predators always get sloppy when they panic. By nightfall, our hidden cameras caught Gavin trespassing, photographing our windows, stealing fake documents Sloan planted. "Perfect," she whispered. "He's building his own prison." Oakwood Heights thought it was just another HOA dispute. In reality, a criminal empire had just been lured into the open. If you're enjoying this downfall, smash like, share this story, and subscribe, because what happens next destroys Gavin Blackwell in front of everyone he tried to control. Gavin Blackwell made the oldest tyrant mistake in history. He wanted an audience. Flyers hit every mailbox by Friday afternoon. Emergency HOA meeting. Mandatory attendance. Community safety crisis translation. He wanted to humiliate us publicly, to scare the neighborhood into turning against us so he could finish forcing us out. By 4 p.m. Saturday, 30 folding chairs sat on the grass in front of our house. 30 witnesses. Gavin showed up like a corrupt general. Fake badge, 2 fake inspectors, clipboard full of fake authority. He pointed at our fence like it was a crime scene. "That structure blocks visibility, he barked. "Blind spots create danger, and Mrs. Walker has a suspicious background." The crowd murmured. That's when Sloan walked forward. "Before you continue," she said calmly, "give everyone your police badge number." Gavin froze. That's confidential." She plugged in her projector. "Funny," she replied, "because this is the entire county police registry, and you're not on it." Gasps. Next slide. A receipt for a fake badge shipped to Gavin's house. Next slide. Security footage of him photographing our windows. Then audio. "We'll get them out before the delivery." His voice, his words. The crowd turned on him instantly. "You lied to us." "You scared our kids. You're a fraud," Gavin snapped. "You don't know who she is," he screamed, pointing at Sloan. "She's dangerous." And then his hand went to his gun. The predator, cornered, showed his real teeth. And Oakwood Heights finally saw the monster it had been living with. The second Gavin Blackwell pulled that gun, his empire died. One moment he was shouting. The next, Sloan moved. She didn't flinch, didn't hesitate, didn't blink. She stepped inside his aim, slapped his wrist upward, and the gun fired into the sky. A thunderclap that made half the crowd scream. Before Gavin could even process what happened, Sloane twisted his arm behind his back, ripped the gun from his grip, and drove him face first into the grass. 3 seconds. That's all it took for the HOA king to become a criminal on his knees. Gavin Hale, she said loudly enough for every phone recording, you are under arrest for impersonating law enforcement, aggravated assault, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Zip ties snapped around his wrists. Neighbors stared in shock as the man who once fined them over trash cans now sobbed into the dirt. Real patrol cars screamed down the street. Real badges, real handcuffs, real consequences. As they dragged him away, Gavin looked at Sloane and hissed, you were targeted long before you moved here. She didn't flinch. Then whoever sent you just lost their favorite weapon. Within days, his partner Victor Crane was arrested. Dozens of families were freed. Millions in stolen property was recovered. Oakwood Heights went quiet again. But this time, it was the peaceful kind. And the fence still standing, just like the truth. If this story shocked you, exposed something you didn't expect, or made you rethink power and authority, hit like, share it, and subscribe, because fake kings always fall, and the next one might be closer than you think.